Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new topic that is sequential search, and this topic is really attached with the real world problems. And in the sense of that, like in our daily life, normally we try to find something, we try to find a location, we try to find the item in our house, we try to find any data in our computer everywhere. So whenever we are trying to look out for a particular item or particular location, so that's why we need to perform a one kind of operation that is known as the search. So if we are talking about the computer where we want to perform the search, like here in this subject, we are putting our whole attention onto the problem which are related to the computer programming. So here we'll talk about the searching of data. Actually, what we do, we store the data items into the computer in different locations, in different memory locations. And whenever we require it, we need to search it out. We need to find it out where exactly that data has been stored in our computer. So for that purpose, if we don't know the location of that data exactly, we need to search it. And how this search operation performs, what kind of issues are there, what are the procedure involved to search the data item, everything we are going to study in this video. Basically, I will start my talk with the basic data structure where we exactly store the data, that is array. And so here we'll have the few discussion about the in few slides we'll have the discussion about the array, and later part we'll go through with the sequential search, that is the basic searching technique. So let's begin with the array. So we have interested in one dimensional array basically, and array has a fixed number of elements and all the elements are in the same type. So if we will talk about the definition of array, so it is a continuous memory location where we store the similar type of data. So it may have the integer type of value, it can have float type, it can have the character type, any kind of data it can store, but in a single array it will store the similar type of data. Each box has the index, which is in Java and C++ starts with the 0. And not only in Java and C++, even if we'll talk about the C programming language that we are using in this semester to teach you data structure, so always index start from the 0th index position. So if we have the size of array, that is n, if suppose that n is equals to 5, or here in this scenario if n is equals to 10, then always index start from 0. So definitely the last element would be at ninth position. It will not be at the 10th position because index starts from the 0. So here is an array which holds the ages of the 10 peoples, and here we have the collection of age of 10 different person. And so that's why the first person having the age 32, second person is having the age 34, and continuously if we'll see in each and every different index position we have the age of different persons. Okay, so let's look at this array in detail. What do you notice about this array? Means like first person is having age 32, second person is age having 34, next 56, next 12 also is there, 21 is there, then 21, 45. What do you notice about that array? Actually, is that data organized in any particular way? No. So the person came in a random order and their age is representing in the random order itself. So there is no organized data. There is no order of data. Any person who came earlier having his or her ages kept into the array inside, and there is no any sequential order of the data. So example of the array, if we'll talk about draw an array of the 20 element which contains the student marks. If suppose that we have the 20 students in our class and I would like to store the their marks whatever they have gained in just previous semester. So which kind of data structure I'll use, or which type of data it will store? So definitely the answer is array will use to store the marks of the students. So the another question, which kind of data type will use to store the marks? So basic answer or basic idea is that we'll use the integer type of or float type of data type to store the marks of the 20 students. Another kind of question is there, if suppose that we would like to draw an array of the 15 elements which contains the student grade from ranging from A to E. So it's if a student scored the marks more than 85%, so he has graded with the grade A, and then similarly if will come down, so grade B, grade C, something like that would be there. So what kind of data type will require if we would like to store the grade of the students? So definitely the answer would be character type of data type we can use to store that kind of data into array. So entering a data into array, how will perform? So when you enter the data in an array, we use a loop basically. The idea is that any data which we are going to store in any data type, in a one single moment of time we can store only one single data. Array have the length, it can store more than one element or similar type of element. So definitely, as we said, a computer or processor can handle only one single operation at a time. So that's why we would like to store the 10 element. So 10 times we have to perform this insertion operation into array. For that purpose, either we can write it down in a iterative manner, like first we'll write the like we'll insert the first element, then second element, then third element, like that. So either we can insert the data in iterative manner as we discussed, or another way is there we write a loop. It can have a for loop, a while loop, anything like that, and control loops we can say that, and we'll use the loop to insert the that much of element we want to insert in an array. So what type of loop do you think we'll use? So definitely what we'll do, we'll have the one number of element there are in an array. So let's suppose that n number of elements we would like to insert. So definitely the loop we will run n number of times and use a computer to keep track of how many elements are inserted or entered into the array. So what we'll do, we'll take a for loop like I equals to 0 to I less than n, and every time we'll increment the I value, and every time we'll insert the value inside the array. So both things we are doing. First thing we are doing, we are taking the initial condition. Another things we are taking the means comparison operation, like I less than equals to I less than n. Till that time we are trying to insert the element. And third important thing was to keep track of the data, how much data you have already inserted. So every time that I value is getting incremented, so that's why we are keeping the track of that, how many elements till now we have inserted. Okay, so these three things we have to keep our attention, so that we can insert the data element into array. See, now the important question is here, why we want to perform the search operation. So in the beginning of this video, we discussed in our daily life, we have lot of issues. We have lot of problems where we need to perform the search operation. Like if we'll see the everyday life, we can search out any, for in university we can go we are looking for any hairdresser or anything like that. We have our laptop, we have computer even. So if we keep any data somewhere in any folder inside that computer or laptop, so in next time in future definitely we need that data. That's why we have stored it over there. So for that purpose also we need to perform the searching. If we don't know exactly where in which folder it has been stored, so you will search out. First you will go in a particular drive, either it can be C drive, D drive, or any other drive. Then afterwards you will go for the any specific folder. Inside that folder definitely you can have the that particular data. So what you are doing, you are performing the searching operation. Once you interact with the internet, world wide web, what you do, you are looking for the specific website. If you don't know the domain of that website, so you normally use the Google. You Google that particular content, and Google will help you out to search that content from the database, and it will give you as output. So basically that is also a part of the searching operation. Okay, different kind of searching methods has been incorporated over there. Spreadsheet, let's suppose that you have any excel file, any file you have, and in that file you need to search a particular data item, like in which year a particular person having how much salary, in which month he was having a leave or something like that. any kind of data which you are maintaining in any Excel sheet, spreadsheet, or something like that. So you need to perform the searching operation. Basically, you perform, you take the, you press the key Control F, then you normally you type that content in that search box, and when you press enter, so automatically that operation will search out that content for you. Okay. And let's suppose that you have the databases. Normally you people are working in SQL database, or even Excel is one kind of database. You have a large amount of data you have. So in that, if you would like to find out a specific kind of data, if you want to get the record of any employee, if you want to get the record of any student, so definitely you will store all these kind of content in a database. So you need to perform the search operation over there. Let's suppose that we have a large record, like thousands and millions and billions of records we have in somewhere in particular database. So definitely you need to perform the comparison operation. How you perform the searching? If you don't know the location, definitely you will go for the first location. You will compare our key with that data. If it is matching, then it's okay. Otherwise you will go for the next, then next, then next. So that process, it is little bit slower. Okay. And many comparisons slow down the system. User won't wait a long time. Basically the idea is that why we use computer, because we want to save our time, and we want to increase the accuracy of the result. For that purpose we use computer. Got it? And if let's suppose that we are waiting for a 1 hour at least for searching out a particular element, so we'll not go through with that kind of system. So these are the different requirements you have seen where we use that searching method to search out the content as per the key element. Key is nothing but that content through which we are searching that data. So different kind of searches we have basically as per the scenario. One is a sequential search, another is a binary search. So here in this video we'll go through with the sequential search. In next video we'll discuss binary search also. So whenever we are discussing about any searching algorithm, one important aspect is there to analyze it. And why we would like to analyze it? Because analysis of the algorithm enables programmer to decide which algorithm to use for a specific application. As we have seen, we have two type of basic searching algorithm. One is a sequential, another is a binary search. So how we'll decide, how a programmer will decide which one should use for a particular project? Until a programmer will not analyze the problem, until the programmer will not analyze the algorithm, he or she cannot decide which one is the best one approach to solve his or her issue. So analysis is one of the important aspect to understand or to know the need of the problem, to know which searching algorithm would be best for concern or for a specific issue or a specific problem that we are going to solve by using the computer. So some observations we have, each item in data set is special member that uniquely identifies the item in the data set. One important thing is that whenever we store any data somewhere into computer, definitely each and every data will have a one unique thing in that. Let's suppose that we are going to store any word file, so definitely we'll give a name to that word file. That name would be unique for a particular specific folder. If we are talking about this specific folder, the same folder cannot have the same named file. Either you have to change the type, or you have to rename the file, then only you can save the two files, okay, in a single location. So each data item have a special member that is that uniquely identifies that data out of this data set. Like in any university, if you want to store the student record, then that university seat number or enrollment number of the student is a unique identification number of that student in given university or respective university, we can say that. So that unique identification of a student record, a specific student, is called as a key of item. So in that data item, we can have lots of things like Student name will be there, student address, student contact number, branch in which he has or she has taken the admission, what kind of subjects they are studying, what different results of different semesters, everything will have, as well as one more important thing will have the university seat number of that student. So out of these data items, we have one unique thing that uniquely identifies the student, that is the student roll number, and we call it as a key of the item. So, where can the keys of the item in the data set be used in? What is the use of that key? So, when we want to perform the search operation, if you want to find out the particular data item, what we'll do exactly? We'll exactly compare the key of the item for which we are searching with the key of items in the data set. Okay. So as we have one key, we know the student roll number. So what we'll do, if we want to get the record of a particular student, so we'll compare that roll number with all the data records which we have with us. So we'll compare this university seat number with the first student seat number which we have in our record. If it is same, then we'll get fetch that data record, student record. Otherwise, we'll go for the next one. And similarly, if we are looking a particular student ID in the list of the student ID exam result, so we'll every time we'll compare this university seat number with the next data, and until we are not finding that record, we'll perform this search operation. And in that search operation, we'll compare the key of data item as well as with the key which we want to search. So these are the ways through which we can perform the searching. So how we'll analyze the algorithm? See, earlier we discussed this is the one of the important thing when we perform any operation, or when we want to choose which algorithm would be best for our problem. So we need to analyze the algorithm. In addition to describing the algorithm, what does analysis of algorithm involve actually? Analysis means key comparisons. How many number of comparisons or key comparisons we have? Comparisons we can have some other kind of operations also, but important key operation. How many number of important operations are there? So definitely key comparisons if we are performing the searching operation. And moreover, the number of key comparisons refers to the number of times the key of the item is compared with the keys of the item in the list. कितनी बार कब की का कंपैरिजन हो रहा है? हमारे पास की है, हमें उसको सर्च करना है, हमारे पास रिकॉर्ड है जिसमें हर एक रिकॉर्ड की भी अपनी एक की है, हम अपनी की को जिसको हमको सर्च करना है रिकॉर्ड की से मैच करते हैं, और तब तक मैच करते हैं जब तक हमको रिकॉर्ड फाइंड आउट ना हो जाए। तो जो बेसिकली यहाँ की कंपैरिजन की बात हो रही है, वो उतने नंबर ऑफ ऑपरेशन की बात हो रही है कि कितनी बार हमें ये कंपैरिजन करना पड़ा। तो जो एनालिसिस है कि कितना टाइम लगेगा, कितने कंपैरिजन ऑपरेशंस है, वो इसी बात से क्लियर हो पाएगा। और कितने नंबर ऑफ ऑपरेशन लग रहे हैं, कितने नंबर ऑफ रिकॉर्ड पे, किस डेटा को सर्च करने के लिए, इससे ये डिसाइड होगा कि कौन सी सर्चिंग एल्गोरिथम हमें यूज करनी चाहिए। डेटा रिकॉर्ड कम है, डेटा हमारा सॉर्टेड ऑर्डर में है, तो हमें क्या कौन सी एल्गोरिथम लगानी है। डेटा रिकॉर्ड बहुत ज्यादा है, फिर भी डेटा रिकॉर्ड सॉर्टेड ऑर्डर में है, तो कौन सी अप्रोच यूज करें। डेटा रिकॉर्ड कम है, अनसॉर्टेड डेटा है, तो कौन सा हम सर्चिंग ऑपरेशन लगाएं। डेटा रिकॉर्ड की साइज बहुत ज्यादा है, डेटा भी अनसॉर्टेड है, तो कौन सा हम की ऑपरेशन कौन सा ऑपरेशन एल्गोरिथम चूज करें। तो ये बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हैं जो प्रोग्रामर के दिमाग में चलते हैं जब वो किसी पर्टिकुलर एल्गोरिथम को अडॉप्ट करता है या चूज करता है प्रॉब्लम का सोल्यूशन को फाइंड आउट करने के लिए। तो इन सारी बातों का उसको सोल्यूशन तभी मिल पाएगा जब वो उस प्रॉब्लम को भी एनालाइज करे और उस प्रॉब्लम के कंसर्न में जिस एल्गोरिथम को अडॉप्ट करने जा रहा उसको एनालाइज करे, तो ही इन सारी क्वेश्चंस का आंसर उस प्रोग्रामर को मिल सकता है। Okay, so till now we have seen the basic concept of searching and where exactly we apply that kind of search, how to analyze the algorithm. In next part of this video, we'll briefly discuss how many means basically we'll discuss about the sequential search, and we'll see what kind of different sequential search operation we can perform.